little rats or something, and people are experimenting with us. Okay.
Oh, we have one more request. Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Now, there's where you got to ask it's an old movie, right? How many years? So you have to ask, was that one okay, if you could find a copy of the old movies, compared to the newer versions? Okay.
Because they recolorized it.
Yes, okay. Old ones, count 0, 20, 40.
0, 20, 40.
100, real classic. Okay. And everything. Now, the newer versions, if you can get a newer version. And so do we say color in black and white? No, just newer version. Count 0, 20, 40.
0, 20, 40.
Minus 500,000 in subliminal messages about death.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the colorized version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to really watch when they redo something, because what's underneath has nothing to do with the content of the movie. It has to do with acoustics and all that kind of stuff.
So is this something that is imperceptible in your opinion? Or is it entering the eyes and people aren't seeing it?
Is it imperceptible? Say, is it?
Is it?
Okay. Imperceptible as far as seeing it or hearing it with the part of the brain that but the deeper brains. So count 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3.
Subconscious, and we have a supraconscious, and we have a supraconscious. So we have the conscious, the subconscious, the superconscious, so we have some layers. You get anything under the consciousness, which you would hear or see, and you're in big trouble. And you do not know what's going in. But you'll wonder why when you're depressed, you're really depressed, like suicidally depressed. Or when you're angry, you could see, oh, if there was a knife here, I'd pick it up. And whereas normally you just say, boy, he makes me mad. Do you say? It augments it. Yeah. So you would not ever know that it was not a thought that was not yours. Do you see what I'm saying? You would not be able to perceive that. You would just think. And your parents would think, Johnny was so great. In the last couple of years or something, he's become violent. And you just say, well, honey, what movies did you watch? Yeah. And they can be the most innocent movies.
Well, and also, it's not only subliminal messages, because there is a great deal of incidents of violence on TV.
Yes, there is. Yeah.
Now, can you counter that in your work?
Well, the first way I counter it is say throw it away. People will ask me once in a while, because people even call me and ask me to read the current movies. Because there was a movie, and I know you'll think of it, where the Joker movie, that guy died afterwards or something, where he wore... Batman. The most recent one, that guy died afterwards. That movie, I have had more people...
You mean Heath Ledger?
Yes, call me up and... before they even knew that movie was bad, and said, I almost had to run out of that place. I've been sick ever since. That was actually black magic under that movie. Yeah. People couldn't even sit through the whole thing. So people will call me and say, is this movie all right? I leave the content up to them. But I mean on stuff that they're going to pick up on another level.
Well, I must admit, on something like Alien, I went in rather unsuspecting and came out with a headache and a stomachache. I think that was the very first film that I had ever felt viscerally moved by the film, and swore I would not see that again.
Let's see whether it was the popcorn you ate or...
I had no popcorn. But
okay, the Alien.
Do Alien for me.
Well, already I'm getting, it's going to send your head off. Okay, so count 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3.
They did this one really well. 1, 2. There is one, I close my eyes when I go really deep. There is one subliminal in there that runs, the whole subliminal runs, I'm getting, for half of the movie. Okay, the other half does not have any in it. But that one subliminal, this is what it would do. Take down, I'm not going to say absolutely positively, but pretty close to everyone there. All 5 heart valves. Number 2, disrupt the solar plexus to where you don't feel balanced or grounded anymore. Throw off your digestion. Stop you up in the colon. Take down both leg meridians. Put your back out. Put the cranials out. And really cremate the thyroid. So let's see if it did it to you. Because our bodies are kind of self-healing. We recover. We say, oh, God, that movie made me sick for 5 days, and now I feel okay. Do you say so? Now, this has nothing to do with what I did. What I did, how long ago did you see that movie?
Oh, maybe 24 years ago,
God.
something like that. It's a long time.
Okay. When I worked on you, between there and here, there were 2 things that still were not repaired from that movie. liver, gallbladder, spleen connection, they all have a connection, was like moved over almost an inch, which encroaches on some other stuff. In other words, it's supposed to be very placed. So this is also why you've had a little bit of that problem since then. The other thing is it took out 2 meridians in your right foot, and I repaired them since we've been here. But one of them has not worked since that movie. And this is what that meridian would help in your body. Count 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3.
Once again, your stance, your grounding, your gait when you walk, your head positioning on the rest of the body. So you might sometimes feel a little bit wobbly. And your whole torso kind of goes like this. So it threw off a lot of structure, which are all put back.
Thank you. I'm really relieved. I think actually that's been carried then for 30 years.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. So what else do we have? We're gonna any others?
Well, there is maybe. Well, let's take on Harry Potter.
Okay. Oh, now that all the kids will be writing in. Harry Potter.
One of my favorites, by the way.
Sorry. That's why I say don't ask the question if you don't. Very dark side, sweetie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Count 0, 1, 2, 3 on Harry
0,
Potter.
1, 2, 3.
One thing, and I'm just going to go very quickly on this one because this is one of the worst, other than that Joker one, worst movies on the face of the planet. It is totally dark side. It actually has the ability to change a person's chi, so that instead of going like this, which is what it's supposed to do, it's going to go like this and then go down over there. So, and your chi is what heals everything. You see, chi is huge. So, content I'm getting, don't ask. And I'm getting, and this was in a newspaper article, it is responsible for, count 0, 2, 4, 6, 8.
0, 2, 4, 6, 8.
10, 12, keep going.
10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
20 deaths of people from 18 and below, absolutely documented on their death certificate from that movie and brain damage. And half of them killed themselves. Not just in our country, this is in other countries too. So, long story short, if you really like your kid, you just sometimes have to say no. Yeah. Okay, so let's say, count 0, 1, 2, 3.
0, 1, 2, 3.
3 ways. Number 1, there was significant brain damage in the visionary or something, so they knew it was something they had seen. Okay. That also has a connection to the amygdala, which is right there, and that's your fight or flight. Every single one of these children, it said in the article, had a panic attack flight reaction, almost programmed, where they, that's when people have panic, or depression, that's also depression. The other half had severe depression, suicidal depression, and the parents absolutely said they could connect it with nothing except that movie because they came home from that movie that way.
Well, it seems like there's a tremendous opportunity for healing in movies if we can work this out. So, producers out there,
especially in this day and age, with young people in particular, they're very visual on CD. They learn excellent that way. But you just have to make sure there's no subliminals. And the one thing I always pick up with children is that in some ways, if parents let them watch too much, they somehow lose some of their creativity. Because before we had TV, and I can remember watching Howdy Doody, it was we were one of the first ones on the block that had a TV, But if you didn't have TV, you see kids outside with sticks and little cars or jumping over imaginary brooks, or they use their imagination, do you see? And my son is a school teacher, and he teaches, I think he's taught every grade in elementary school. He's teaching 6 now. But he says also what he notices is that parents that sit their kids too much in front of the TV or video games or whatever, that they truly lose some of their creation of imagination. And he said they don't usually really want to read a book. In other words, they want it done for them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. And now actually we're out of time for this segment. But I want to thank you so much, Joy, for being here today.